Hi, welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD,
Erin, and Kat.
Again, Stray Kids!
Woo!
I could quite happily just have a Stray Kids a day.
If we've got enough content.
Watch it all. So I did a vote over on Patreon for what song we should do next. I just picked out some random ones that people have mentioned, and people voted for Scars.
It's got. I have that on my playlist. I have the thumbnail in my head. I'm pretty sure that's on my playlist. I know that song.
Erin looks worried already.
If there isn't some Lion King reference, I'm gonna be really upset. Now I'm imagining, you know when we watched TXT Puma?
Yes.
And it was in the cave. Now I want whatever this song is to be set there.
Okay.
And to them have scars because scars attack them.
Well,
I have very weird things that go on in my head.
I have no idea because I have not even looked up the video to see a thumbnail or anything. I just had people vote for the song, so I found out about it, and that's where I'm at.
Cool.
So, it's from October 2021, so a recent one.
Okay.
It's from a Japanese album.
Ooh,
So it's in Japanese and English. And then they did a Korean version of it, which they brought out in December 2021.
Oh.
Which,
then maybe it's not the song I'm thinking of. I'm
but-
sure I have a song in my playlist called Scars, but it might be from another band. In which case, I don't know. I just have a thumbnail in my head of, as in the music Spotify album thingy, but maybe it's not theirs then because I don't think I've added that one.
Yeah, because we started reacting to them.
That's what I
in
mean.
October.
Yeah. So
I think it was October.
I don't know.
That's what I've
Anyway.
been here forever again.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what the song's about because we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
Okay.
See what impressions
What are we
we
expecting? I'm expecting ballady, to be honest.
Could go either way, right?
Painful.
Scars could be but in your face, or it could be quite sad. Yeah.
Please remember to like, comment and subscribe with English and Japanese.
I'll never cry because I know that it'll never change.
Love his earring.
Tell it was around Thunderous, can't you? If you were there styling. Ooh, that looks cool.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
Oh, very nice. Oh, Han in a bucket hat.
Han's got a bucket hat on, Binny's got a leather jacket on, Han had an eye patch, I can't.
Just watch out for the darkness.
Ooh,
He does such good floor work.
I love this song.
마부시 호도
Ooh. Don't look at me.
Oh, that's a screensaver right there, isn't it?
It says Scars.
Yeah.
I really like that song.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Really good.
And the video.
I loved that choreography.
Yeah.
It was really, really nice.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, so post-apocalyptic, I think. It was like they'd all been through something, like they've obviously survived the end of the world or something, and they're together and they're obviously travelling across to find some sort of sanctuary or somewhere. So yeah, it's nice. It was a little like, story in there. You're picking up bits and pieces, but it was so nice they had each other. So it was nice.
Yeah, getting away from the darkness.
Yeah.
But
I would like to see lyrics.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think we should talk about. I'll say the meaning of the song because I think without lyrics, it's a hard one to.
Yeah, but that whole
judge.
thing could be like a metaphor. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? As in, what does that darkness represent, and what they're trying to get away from?
Yeah.
What have they survived? Things like that. But just on face value, yeah. Really
Do you know what
good little
though?
story, like a movie.
A part of me was glad there was not lyrics. One, because I struggled to read them and see what's going on. Because there are several points in that which I was like, this might be a really emotional song, what they're saying. But this is an attack. And at least without the lyrics, I can argue I'm not emotional because I don't know what they're saying. That's why I'm just letting them attack me and being all like, oh, instead of being all like, oh, you know?
Two separate journeys there. Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Han is there at the front in a bucket hat and he's doing some body rolls.
They all look really, really good. New looks for some of them. Hyunjin with very dark hair.
Oh, when he
Yeah.
You know the bit
Yeah.
where he was in
The white, and then they switched
yeah,
to all black.
And he was in the black.
It was all black, yeah, it was good. And Felix had long hair at one point. I mean, it was kind of
Blonde,
there
like
and then
mullet
little
almost.
ponytail,
Yeah.
but at one point it was longer. It was good.
Ponytail, eye patch.
Yeah.
Still the eye patch.
When they were like in they're like a back garden almost.
Yeah.
Like that bit. Those dance moves with the line.
Oh yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
What? I need to see that at 0.25
Yeah.
for each like one of their like how they all because
It was almost like in the middle between sort of modern interpretive dance and their own normal style of dance, and it was really nice. So there was it added to the feeling of like what we were saying, like they're sort of possibly in pain or something.
And you could see that it was in the Thunderous era.
Yeah,
from the styling.
Yeah, Bangtan had the same sort of orangey coloured hair, didn't he?
Yeah, and the
his
black and
arms
white
were out,
outfits,
looking good.
The way they were styled.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, lots of the outfits in there were nice because some of them were with them in the camper van thing was a bit more colourful.
Yeah,
and they had the black and white outfits, but then they also had. Were the outfits? It might have been the black and white one, but Felix was wearing like a grey top.
I think it
was that in the same.
Well, no,
okay.
there was two because
Grey was in the dance.
He had a grey top at one point, but then also he had like a black, almost cropped blazer type thing.
Yeah, that's why I'm
one
confused.
point.
I feel like there were 3 outfit changes in that, but it's all gone into one, and so I'm just like, whoa. But yeah, it was an attack.
Yeah,
but very, very a beautiful attack because they all looked really good. They sound really good. Their movements were amazing.
The song was really nice.
And again, I'm pretty sure like half of their outfits, I would be like, I want to own that in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
That's a really cool top, like things like that.
Really had a leather jacket.
End of sentence.
There's some body rolls in there.
This.
Yeah.
This.
Looking good. Did you like that one, Kat?
I did. It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad that Scar wasn't in it.
Sungmin's floor work, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Because each time he sits like this, I expect him to lean back, like in backdoor.
Yeah. He's so
And he
graceful.
Yeah. It's like I know he's on the ground, but it's like he's floating.
Yeah.
Or the time's moving slightly differently, or...
Does he have a background in dance? I know that he's a vocalist, and they can do it all, but I'm just curious, did he have a strength in dance?
Not
'Cause
that
he
I'm
moves so
aware of,
fluidly.
but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
he didn't.
And his lines are so nice.
And it's always him that you see very specifically doing those.
Which is a massive compliment to him. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't have that background in dance, I wouldn't know it. He moves really well.
Hyunjin, like, he might have been a spider, just missing some of the legs, because he was just so... His legs looked so long, his arms looked so long when he was just moving. Actually, to be fair, all of their leg work looked different to how, like, in other videos I felt it just... I can't describe it. I'm hoping that one of you is going to jump in and be like, oh yes, blah, 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 blah.
A lot of their movements were quite spaced out, like low and long, as it were, like quite spaced, and to make those lines across it.
Yeah, they were quite like wide leg doing them, and
they had another one of those shots where it came up above them, like we saw in Double Knot. You know, where they'd all leant back and it kind of came up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what we said that at the beginning, because there's quite a lot of them. They make wonderful formations, so that's quite an advantage to having more members in your group, that you can make like more stage presence with the formations of using all of those bodies. So it's really good. Yeah, no, I really like that one.
I didn't watch a lyric video.
Yeah,
last
yeah.
weekend.
I know you're going to tell us it's about something really, really upsetting and really tragic, and then I'm going to be really upset.
I never cry because I know that it'll never change. 人知れぬ場所耐えただ立ち尽くす何度も倒れそうになるけど一人手を伸ばし一人立ち上がる吐き潰したスニーカー気をした手痛んだ傷やす今知らないパッカドンの前からすこの声この傷跡全部まるでタトゥーさらけ出した全てを見せるそれが全てと投げ出したくなる日も避けず何やっても構わず let go 倒れても倒れても余計なで turn on the lights そ止められない知れぬ場所耐えただ立ち尽くす何度も倒れそうになるけど一人手を伸ばし
Now this shows with his movement.
くじけそうな心胸に叫ぶほど誰か見てくれているだろうこの痛み癒してくれるだろう負けまで I turn on the lights そう止まらない目の先に光る Yeah, you look up You never give up 僕なら大丈夫突き進
a lot more vocals in this. So what do we think?
I feel like it's about like their work as music, and like they're giving everything, and even, you know, they get cut, you don't even have time to like heal and process it. You have to keep pushing, you have to keep going. They said like they'll keep going, like even though something about a limit, like reaching their limit, but it sounds like they're pushing forward until they reach the best that they can possibly be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it was them describing their journey as trainees and musicians into the world of Idol, which from the outside everybody thinks it's very glamorous and whatnot, but you don't realise actually the amount of cuts and scrapes that they take emotionally on that journey. So
the work and sacrifice that it takes.
Yeah, and also that you can also be very lonely and isolating and whatnot, because you're constantly living in judgment and wanting validation from others. So they were saying like, you know, even if I'm alone, I'll still carry on. They forget to smile, but they're like, and it said, as long as it's me, it's okay. So it's almost like they're saying, but as long as I know I'm being true to myself, then that's always going to be like their anchor, their grounding kind of thing. So I don't know, that's kind of the interpretation I got of it.
Yeah, so it's their determination to continue making deep and lasting scars, to grasp a bigger dream, even though they already have a lot of them. So it's almost like the scars are getting along the way, but they're still getting more because they're still going to keep going.
Do you know why they wrote that song? Like, had there been something that had triggered, they felt they needed to write it?
Not that I saw, but I'm sure someone will put in the comments if they know something about that.
A lot of the time that could be something that they used inspiration from. They might have written that stuff during their trainee days and then draw inspiration from, like, if they keep diaries, things like that. A lot of, you know, so it could have been inspiration from earlier in their journey, but they've finally brought it into a song now, or maybe they wrote that song years ago, but they had it, and who knows. So.
It's probably like, it would be difficult to say something happens and we just assume they write a song about it
like right
straight
now,
away.
Yeah.
But actually the bravery to, you might write it, but then the bravery to actually like share it.
Yeah. Because sometimes you think they might even just have a small part of a song. They wrote a small little bit of lyrics and they've come back to it and gone, actually, I think I can elaborate on this. And especially when it's like 3 Ratcha and there's 3 of them. It could be one person brings something and then they all work from that to add their own parts to build upon it.
Which is nice, because you get, say for example, they're all on, in a way, the same journey, but that journey was very different for the individual. So they've all had their own interpretations of that journey and what that means to them, and that's those scars and that pain. So that's why you could get, in a way, like say 3 Ratcha, for example, you could get 3 different verses from 3 different rappers, but the way they express it or talk about it is actually very different, and that's what keeps it fresh, which is really nice. But still very brave to talk about those things. Again, it takes away taboos of toxic masculinity and not talking about things that hurt you and things like that. So no, it's still really brave. It's nice. And it was really nice vocals in there from it. I think everybody shone really nice, and it was a nice melody.
It was more vocal than rap than some of the stuff we've done. What else was I going to say? I also think that the use of scars is really cool. Because we think of a physical scar when you think of a scar. But it's that kind of emotional scar that, in a way, everything leaves a scar, positive and negative.
Yeah.
Everything you go through in life leaves a lasting imprint.
Yeah. And the way I interpret that as well is because very relevant to the industry they're in, or anyone that's in like an entertainment industry. And like, you know, your outside, your visuals, your Instagram, everything's got to be, your image is that, but what's under the surface is there's still many scars there. So that's the interpretation I had of it, is that they're not necessarily what you can see, which is why they're singing about it and saying they are there.
and that the smallest thing can leave a scar.
Yeah. Well, that's why people have said about online bullying and things like that for, you know, anyone that's in the public eye that's happened to. But again, some K-pop idols, death by 1,000 paper cuts, and people go like, oh, it doesn't matter, I only said this one thing. And you're like, yeah, but on top of everything else, like.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you say, everything could leave a little cut or a little scar or whatnot. So yeah.
I love the way that Stray Kids do their more emotional songs. That not every emotional song has to be a big ballad with a big long high note and or like just a piano and someone sings soft. I mean, I do love songs like that.
Yeah.
But their ballads still have a hard hitting element to them, and they always have a beat, and it's do you know what I mean? It's their own way of doing
They're
it.
very raw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love the way they do them.
Yeah.
Because we said the same when we did Lonely Street.
Mm-hmm. Well, if
It's
we
a very
constantly
vulnerable, painful song, yet it's not delivered in the way that we would usually see that delivered.
Yeah, because if we got the same from every group, we'd kind of run out of. It'd just be the same.
I always feel like they're tricking you into being like, "Here, come listen to this. It's got a good beat." And now you're going to listen to the meaning.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be like, oh, look, it's not. If you, like we said about toxic masculinity, you know, we can talk about emotions without having to, you know, be all effeminate and sad about them.
Yeah, that's talking about emotions and being very, very vulnerable and raw and in like an exposed nerve, but in a style that's still true to them. And they're like, I'm a fucking strong person and I'm a strong man and I'm doing this, and it's, you know, so yeah, it's quite a good example.
And again, that I'm a strong man, but I still feel stuff.
Exactly.
I need to express that.
Yeah.
And still with like I'm still keeping going. I've felt this stuff, I feel this stuff, but you know, I still going to keep trying.
That determination, which is admirable.
Resilience.
Which again, I think a lot of people are doing that in their everyday life, just maybe in their, shall I say, smaller scale, as in like we're not all K-pop idols or whatever. But do you know what I mean? Like that those lyrics could be true for everyone in their own little journey. You know, so it's quite relatable in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, nice.
I love that song.
Yeah, nice song. I don't think that was the one I was thinking of. I must have another song called Scars.
Okay. So that was Stray Kids Scars, the Japanese and English version. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.